Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hate Everything podcast starring your host. Wow, come on. Johnny Bratsveen.
And Tracy Kellett.
I've been practicing.
Okay, look, that one was a little weak.
I've been practicing.
It was a little weak, but you guys see the
It was
motion.
a lot of weak.
I'm doing a lot of this.
You had to stop it with your hand.
I stopped it because I was trying to get the answer sooner. Because
but
I like to let the spin out.
That puts the whole coin flip integrity.
Tracy Kellett.
Johnny Bratsveen, there you go.
How the hell are you?
Because if you touch the coin, it nullifies the legitimacy of the coin.
Fine, I'm in charge. How are you this week, man?
I'm all right. I'm hanging in there.
Yeah.
Hanging in.
No.
This is a little boring. It was a little boring of a week. Not a lot going on.
It's kind of a slow news week, I felt too. But I still feel like I don't know, it was a good week. There were some
great week.
There were some high points.
Yeah. I guess.
It was
just one of those weeks. It's one of those weeks where you realize it's like, dude, life's pretty fucking boring. A lot of people need excitement. They find some like bullshit way to get excitement.
Right. And not all of us want to listen to Richard Sherman, threaten to kill himself.
That was actually a pretty cool video, if I'm being completely honest.
It was kind of horrifying.
it's
kind
not
of horrifying. You're kind of seeing
horrifying.
someone melt down in front. You know what I mean?
Horrifying? I don't think it's horrifying.
Could you imagine like having someone that you loved being like outside your house, pounding to get in, like threatening to off themselves? It's
Oh, you
kind of
mean
horrifying.
like every other person in America?
That is true. We all have that guy. It's usually
All the Richard Sherman video proved to me is that he's an American.
he's proud to be an American.
He's just like you and me. He's just like, that can happen to anybody.
I did kind of appreciate that.
It's so frightening to see what? A dude try and break into a house?
No, it's frightening to see someone at a low point. You know what I mean? Especially when it is someone that you've put up on a pedestal. But regardless, look, he sold. The only thing I know about him is that he sold beef and chunky stew.
I want to know what started it. Do you know what started it?
No, let's make it up right now.
Production, can we pull up an article and just trying to figure out? I would like to break this down.
Oh, you wanted facts. Okay,
I'd like to know what started it.
I mean, it's a domestic dispute, right?
Here's the thing. When men flip out like that, it's usually justified. The woman usually did something to get it to that point.
Every time. Every single time.
Y'all be pushing
it's
buttons.
All us.
Yeah.
It's all us.
Maybe if you guys could like calm down.
As his wife
Sip some water.
or a significant other. I have my water. As she's
As you
calling
grab
911.
a Monster energy drink can. You're like, I have
she's
my
calling
water.
911 trying to keep him safe. We were the protagonists, okay?
Hey, look, it's easy to play victim, okay? It's easy to get everything riled up. Oh, you're so crazy. What if it's like she kicked him in the dick and then took the kids?
So I literally think she never wanted the 911 call to go public. I mean, obviously she called 911 out of fear for her and him. It wasn't like a move.
But if you're that 911 dispatch operator, you're like, oh, let me open up my TikTok real quick.
We saw what happened with the Kobe crash photos.
They're like, let me open up my
People
TikTok
aren't above
real quick.
much.
Yeah, that's wild, isn't it? That's
People
wild.
aren't above
they don't
much.
It's the scoop.
It is the
I
scoop.
need the scoop.
And
That's
how
like
ugly. How ugly.
Do you know who triple XXX Tentacion is?
Yes.
So when he got killed, he was test driving a car.
You showed me this, actually.
He was test driving a car and someone ran up and shot him. And then like everybody gathered around the car and just pulled their phones out. And I think he was like, from the video I saw, I think he was still like alive. Like they could have maybe done something.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I never really like delved into like the coroner report to figure out what actually, like where he was shot. But it was like everybody was just kind of standing around filming instead of doing anything. It was very weird. It was very almost Black Mirror. It was like Black Mirror, that episode where they're all just getting followed with the phones.
Well, it was the same after Trayvon Martin, the whole thing, and there's a term for it now. God, I woke up an hour
World
ago.
Star, baby.
It's a term that basically in the time of smartphones, when you see something happen or you hear something, you just always assume that someone else someone else called 911. If you see a car crash, don't worry, somebody else took care of it. You always assume that someone did, but when you assume that someone else has, and everyone makes that assumption, no one does anything. So there was a period of time when they were interviewing the people that lived in that apartment complex. Everyone was like, yeah, we heard it. And they're like, why didn't you call? And they're like, I just thought someone else did. So it's kind of the same thing. It's like, I'm going to pull out my smartphone and I'm going to record instead of making a call because somebody else here did. And what a piece of shit you have to be that person, by the way.
Piece of shit, or just that's what it is. Maybe it's like just like a group like a group state of mind where it's like, oh, it's
Pack
like,
mentality.
oh yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I think someone else already called, so it's fine for us to just.
I don't know. I'm gonna call. I'm gonna be the one that calls.
I never call. I turn my music up and I keep driving.
I called. I had to
I
call.
was listening to my favorite song. I didn't see it.
I had to call 911 one time when I was stationed at Fort Bragg because there were two guys on an ATV and I lived in kind of a seedy area. My neighbors were drug dealers, but took very good care of me and my dogs. And
With drugs?
No, just they knew that I was a girl living alone, so they took very good. They were very kind and took very good care of me and my dogs. But one of the guys fell off the back and he cracked his head open. You can see it. So I call 911, and the guy that was driving the ATV, he came up and he like grabbed the phone and he was like, "Hang up." So I hung up. They put the guy back on the ATV. I'm like, "What the fuck just happened?" 911 will call you back. So they called me back.
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, it was an accident. Everything is fine." And afterwards, the guy came up to me. He's like, "I'm a medic. He's fine." That guy probably died. He's dead.
I got this.
He's still probably in an apartment at Windy Hill Circle.
Just sitting in a chair.
Sitting in a chair, just
Sitting
a
in a
rocking
chair.
chair. Yeah.
Do you want to watch
bad
the game,
taxidermy
Steve?
on Facebook.
You want to watch the game, Steve? ATV. Head. Hurt. Help. Yeah, the Angels are fucking up. That's the best baseball reference you're gonna get out of me.
Thank you. I do appreciate that.
I was gonna go a different sport, but
I'm not even gonna touch on the baseball reference. I know I've outstayed my welcome on the
You're
baseball
out.
references with Johnny Bratsfield.
You're out of here.
So production, did you pull up what?
There's nothing. There's nothing really.
It was a domestic disturbance. So at the end of the day, two people who love each
It
other
looked
very
like
much.
it looked like he was yelling at the in-law, the father, from the video that I like the father-in-law, because he kept saying, "Come out, pull up." I don't remember what he was saying, but
Well, he got drunk and crashed into a construction zone first.
yeah.
okay.
But
So
it
it's a
doesn't say
regular
anything
Friday.
Yeah, he was just drunk, crashed there. Then he got taken down by a dog.
You got
That's
taken down by a dog. Oh
yeah.
God.
Those dogs don't fuck
Oh
around.
God. That's always been my biggest fear, is to get chased by like a police dog.
Those things. That is, I would just shoot me. Just shoot me. Just shoot me. And I don't understand, why don't we use the beanbag guns and shit like that? Production, maybe
Because
you
they're
can.
just as bad. I feel
No,
like.
they're not. Production, he got hit with some rubber bullets and beanbag stuff for training. And here's the thing, a dog could kill you. You know what I mean? A dog, the chance of you getting killed if you get shot by a cop or chased by a dog,
But
the
can't
odds
those
are the
beanbags,
same.
if they like hit you in the head, take you out
Of
too?
course, but it's
Those
more
rubber bullets.
non-lethal.
I've seen some bad shit with rubber bullets.
I'm just saying, if you're trying to take down a drunk guy that just crashed into a construction zone, fucking hit him with a beanbag.
So how do you crash into a construction zone and then end up yelling at your father-in-law?
I mean, it's. Oh, we think he may have walked. Maybe even a slight jog.
I mean,
A
he's
zigzag.
he's got a good 40 time. I remember that from the draft.
I just know he's eating beef and chunky stew.
He better not lose he better not lose that.
I think he already did. Didn't he lose it when he lost his contract? Like,
Yeah, come on down.
isn't he kind of washed up?
No,
He's kind of washed up,
he's not
right?
washed. He's still a good corner. He's just not.
Oh, he's still in the NFL?
I'm pretty sure he's still in the NFL.
Oh, I thought he had been cut.
No. He'll never get cut. He's too good for that.
Oh.
He's had too many big moments. Like, he'll always have a job.
Oh,
he'll have a job till he's done playing.
I just thought he was like Johnny Manziel. You know what I mean? That's what I thought. And he's going to play it for the XFL.
No,
he's going to go play in the lingerie league.
He's earned his right to crash into a construction zone. Okay.
Well, now I
Like,
kind of
he
want to
has
know what
enough-
led to it.
He has enough shit on his resume to be like, fuck that construction zone. You want a championship?
I hope it was like $1 million homes.
Oh,
You
he's
know
a
what I
free
mean?
agent. He's a free agent.
So he's not in the NFL.
Well,
right?
not anymore. Like
That's okay,
this
so-
will probably be the thing that keeps him from getting, or he'll end up in Philadelphia, because Philadelphia loves taking people like that. Philadelphia.
Shout out to Michael Vick. Also, big fan of police dogs.
Don't start with me.
Huge
Leave
fan.
Michael Vick alone. Leave Michael Vick alone.
Hey, we had a conversation. You did the crime. You did the time. I got to let it go. I'm just saying, he's a big fan of very aggressive dogs.
Look,
He's a big dog boy.
you can take the motherfucker out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Look, let's be honest here. Let's be honest here.
Let's get honest.
Let's be honest.
Because I
here.
haven't been honest up to this point.
Let's be honest. If this blows up and me and you get a shit ton of money, are we changing anything that we do? What are we changing?
I guess I need to stock my cockfighting ring.
What are we changing? I'm still gonna go to bars and get blasted in
I guess
public.
the difference was that
I'm still
you
gonna
and I
yell at people that I don't
We're
like.
not felons. We're not felons. We're not out there
Close
taking
enough.
a felony. No, and here's the thing, and you know damn well, if we were doing we're gonna probably stop drinking and driving as much. Because that would blow us up.
Maybe.
We would be more mindful,
I will
guess
say
what I'm
maybe.
saying. So the whole
If
argument.
the money's good enough that I can have a driver, then yeah. But until we get to driver money,
Here's
Johnny
the reason,
Bradstein's getting home tonight.
Here's the
Okay,
reason Tracy drinks and drives. I don't know how to use my Uber app.
I'm technologically unsound.
It's like we're sending you a code. I'm like, where?
No,
Where?
But here's the thing: those apps have been fucked up for like the last 3-4 months. I don't know what's going on. Maybe we need to do some research into that. But a lot of the Uber apps, it's so hard to get an Uber when you need one. I don't know if it's like there's a.
I know here in the Springs there's a shortage, and we had a huge conversation with an Uber driver about this.
Yeah.
There's a huge shortage, and a lot of the drivers, I guess there was like a whole strike thing, and production's gonna nod at me even though he's not listening. There was like a strike thing, and there was a shortage. So in Colorado Springs right now, we're a bustling city. We have like 4 Uber drivers.
Right.
The average
What
time
are you
is like
striking
45
from Uber
minutes.
for? It's an app job.
No, it's because of the contracts.
Well, that's on you.
It was kind of a bait and switch. It was a bait and switch situation.
Hey, listen up, people. If you're getting your job from an app, if it took you 3 minutes to download an app and then get a job, they're probably not set up too well for you.
I'm saying they're smarter than me because I can't get mine to load.
How many jobs do you see advertising on Facebook ads?
Well, we talked about therapy.
How many jobs do you see tweeting? Come work for us.
I'll tell you what, the Wendy's Twitter game is strong. Wendy's has a very good
But they're
SEO
not on
guy.
Facebook like, come work at Wendy's.
Come on down to Wendy's.
Download our app and take a picture of your driver's license and we'll give you a job. No one else was like, that's a little...
We're going to send you some decals and some light up underglow stickers for your
Right.
Honda Civic.
We're going to send you a sticker. Send us a picture of the inside of your car. Send us a picture of it.
Dude, I should do Uber.
You know what my favorite...
I only take people to like monster truck rallies.
Right.
It's like it's like what vehicle, and like the description is you'll know.
Right. The last Uber I was in this weekend, because we got to that fucking bar, and as soon as we get to the bar, they call last call. So I immediately was like, it's Uber time before everybody else starts looking for an Uber, right?
Fuego.
And so I get one, and I had my fucking Switch with me, and I was trashed. I was fucking trashed, and I get in that Uber, and I just immediately pull out the Nintendo Switch. I'm just a drunk 30-year-old dude walking out of a bar,
Grown man.
getting into an Uber, and
Playing
then
Mario
pulling
Kart.
the Nintendo Switch out. And I Mario Karted for it, like, because it was a 30-minute drive back home,
Right.
so I was just getting it.
Did
And
he
I'm
try
back,
to talk
dude.
to
I'm
you?
back. Oh yeah, and I just fucking ding, 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 ding.
I'm
Fuck!
drifting.
Fuck!
Fuck you, Princess Peach.
Bullshit! I literally I did that at one point because I lost a race like right at the finish line. I was like, fuck! Sorry, man. Sorry.
I do love that. I do love when you pull out the Switch at the bar. And now it's kind of a thing. Other people are fucking bringing their video games too.
Look, this
now
is what they made it for.
We got some video games. We got some basketball going on. We still got to hang the dartboard, but that's still an option. We've got a whole fucking setup now.
Looney's is turning into a garage Dave and Buster's.
I was just going to say a
It's
very
true.
lowbrow Dave and Buster's. Like there's always going to be that one 007 pinball machine that doesn't work. You know
Right.
what I mean?
But we'll get drunk next to it. That's what we'll do.
Absolutely.
Come on down to Looney's, whoa. You can get drunk and play Nintendo Switch.
And now they have that new game, the box game.
Shut the Box. You're welcome, by the way. I have been bugging Eric to get a Shut the Box for the bar.
Did he bring it? I've never played it before.
Oh, yeah. It's there.
I made money and then I immediately lost it.
Well, they fucking, I guess the second night it was there when I was out in Denver, and I came back, it was him and 2 other people.
Claire
and
Bear.
they've been playing it for like 6 hours. And they were...
Claire is a hustler, by the way.
She was trashing like, no one shut the box. And then I shut the box in front of everybody.
Right. So here's the thing about Claire is that when everyone gets drunk, they just assume that the waitresses know how to do math, which we don't. So she was fluffing the numbers. And it was beautiful to watch because she'd be like, yeah, it was 18, 7 or 11, 12. And she's doing the math. And then she's like, it's this number. And I'm like, oh, it's not that number. And the guys are like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, okay. Here's $20.
Right.
Like,
Take that.
I love it.
I didn't understand anything you just said.
I know. Like, okay, carry the one. Okay, carry the one. Round down, round down. Like, what? It's a whole number. They're whole numbers.
God, I love that place. That's my fucking place.
It's a good place. It's a good place. My thing keeps getting caught, so I'm just going to talk down here for the rest of the night.
What keeps getting caught? Fix it. Get it together.
My cable. I'm getting
Tracy
it.
Kelly ruining the podcast once again with her not know-how with cords and wires.
This segment brought to you by tequila and a Hello Kitty water dispenser.
You know what bothers me about that?
It's a perfect serving
Is
size.
that you have a jug.
Oh no! So the reason I didn't
You have a jug
the
and you're
reason
just
I didn't
pouring
do
it into the top.
This is very expensive tequila. It's very expensive tequila. So when I went to fill this up, I knew if I got drunk enough, I would immediately, because it's not secured, it doesn't get secured into the top. So I immediately knew I was going to drop that whole bottle of tequila, whatever we didn't drink. This is very expensive tequila, bro. This isn't well whiskey. This is very nice. What is this? I don't even know.
So you put it in a Hello Kitty dispenser? I'm pretty sure that's not how you're supposed to store tequila.
Hiroshima. What does this say?
Yeah, Hiroshima?
Hiroshima.
Yeah, Hiroshima.
Hiroshima tequila.
Hiroshima tequila.
We're coming after the Jenners. Let's come after Hiroshima, starting their own brand of tequila. What the fuck? Do they have any agave in Japan?
It glows.
It comes with an anglerfish and 5 different types of diabetes.
It comes with that book, what is it, 1,000 Origami Swans? Dude, that book was so depressing as a kid.
Every book, I feel like we've talked about children's books before. They're all depressing.
I used to have a bit. I might bring it back and rework it, where I would talk about the only reason I'm so fucked up in the head is because of all the books they made us read as kids.
Right.
So, like, I remember the 1,000 Origami Swans book.
Right.
And then someone was like, well, what's it about? And I go, well, this little girl has leukemia, and her doctor says if you fold 1,000 origami swans, you can get a wish.
Oh, my God. I never read this book, by the way.
I'm like, what kind of shitty doctor is like, instead of saying, you're not going to make it.
Right.
Here's a lie. Here's not only false hope, but this
is work. This is now a Herculean task.
Here's a task that you're not going to complete.
And she does it.
As you're taking your last breath, you're going to be like, if I would have just worked a little harder.
So did she not do the 1,000?
No, she fucking ends up dying.
I thought
she ends up dying.
I was hoping she did the
And
1,000 and still died.
No,
and it's like,
look.
children, this is a story about hard work, trepidation, holding your head up high.
No, it's a story about, hey, I don't want to take responsibility for this situation, so I'm gonna make sure you know it's all on you.
I'm the shittiest pediatrician in Japan.
I know it's gonna be all on you when it doesn't go well. We don't know how to treat leukemia, so just tell them 1,000 origami swans.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, bring the joke back. I want to hear the rework.
And then the other book I would bring up was called The Iditarod. Have you ever heard of this one, The Iditarod?
I've heard you tell this joke, and it's funny.
I love that joke.
You're like, what was the point?
Don't give Indians weapons. Have you heard that one, production? Oh, that's a pretty good one. Because that book fucked me up too.
Reading Rainbow, guys, check it out.
God.
Go to your Scholastic book fair, and you're gonna get all of Johnny's references.
Read? Anne Frank's diary. Jesus Christ.
I didn't have to read the Diary of Anne Frank. I had to read like All Quiet on the Western Front and like horrible books. A separate piece where
what was Catcher in the Rye about? Which one was that? That was baseball, wasn't it? Wasn't that baseball centric?
I never read Catcher in the Rye.
I think it was baseball centric and it had the N-word in it.
I think you're thinking Tom Sawyer. There's a lot of N-words.
The Glass Menagerie.
I never had to read that either.
I read that one. That one's another sad one.
God,
it's about breaking like porcelain animals and and I think it's another leukemia story if I'm not mistaken.
Jesus Christ, leukemia played a bigger role in America's history than I thought.
Right. This is how you keep everybody working.
I did have to read The Lottery, which is a short story that was one of the inspirations for the Hunger Games.
Oh yeah.
And I had to read that, and I remember I was in the 4th grade, and we had to read. We read it one afternoon, and we're just like reading it, and I was like, they're gonna kill this. They're gonna kill this girl. And my teacher, Mr. Ansel, was like, yeah, keep reading. Like he was like, oh yeah, oh they're stoning her. I'm like 8, and I'm like stoning.
What was that?
We're gonna dig a hole.
Well, that's like Lord of the Flies.
Oh yeah, Piggy. They did Piggy dirty. They did Piggy dirty. They did him dirty. We know
and then everybody's like, "Why is your comedy so dark?" I said, what are you talking about? You didn't have to read any of this shit growing up?
Right.
This is what they were given to us in like 4th grade.
Maybe
they're like, break it down. What's it mean? My friends would kill me if we ended up stranded on an island? Like, is that what it means? Not to trust anybody around me.
Here's the thing,
don't ever get leukemia because they're gonna give me some fucked up task.
In Lord of the Flies, let's be real. If you were a child and it was Lord of the Flies, you would have been the ringleader. You would have been the guy. You would have convinced everyone that you were a messiah.
I would have been the first one to order somebody to get killed.
Yeah, just so you want to test. You want to test the water of your power.
Yeah, because I'm a kid, right? If I ordered a bunch of my friends to kill somebody as a kid, I can't get tried as an adult. So that's like a free pass at murder.
I don't think
orchestrated murder.
Oh, that's a good point. I don't think when you're like on an abandoned island, I don't think you have to worry about the laws.
Yeah, if someone shows up and saves you, like, what happened? They'll be like, yo, Johnny convinced us to kill like 6 people. And then be like, dude, they were talking shit. Like,
you know what that sounds like to me? An accessory. That's what it sounds like to me.
You guys not seen Survivor yet? We just didn't have a Jeff Probst.
God, I can't wait for Survivor to come back.
We just didn't have a Jeff Probst.
I miss Jeff Probst so much.
We just didn't have a Jeff Probst. Huh?
He's in my garage and in my heart.
You see that workaround? I didn't even plan that.
I know that,
but I worked that in.
He was a step in for you.
Just look, grade A stand-up comic right here. Grade A.
You do comedy. Jesus Christ. Well, so yeah, fucking Richard Sherman.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a bump. This is an ad. This is an ad for our Patreon.
It's when your mouth does that.
They can't see it. That's why I do it behind the microphone, because you're the only one that can see it. It's Patreon.
So look, this is a big deal, guys. It's a
we
big
need
deal.
You guys to give us money.
We need money.
I want to quit my job.
Yeah.
If we get enough subscribers, I will quit my job on the podcast.
I would love it. I want to see, and it has to be a resignation letter.
What's a number? We need to establish a number now. How many subscribers?
You had initially said 25.
25? No, 25 is not enough for me to quit my day job.
I don't know how much money I don't know what your bring home is. I don't know what your gross.
I'm not killing it.
Okay.
Let's just say that. Well, ain't no Rolls Royces in the Bratsville household.
If we get more of
100.
100?
100.
Well, we're at 3 right now, so let's
97 more.
1,000 origami swans.
If we can get 100 subscribers, or if our current subscribers can fold 1,000 origami swans and mail them individually to this garage. Individually. I don't want to open up a fucking box and see 2 in there.
No. The postmaster knows also you just put to the garage.
And I also
you don't need our physical address, they know.
I also don't care about the size of the box. Because it's not my garage. So y'all will have to deal with it.
So we're going to have some free moving boxes here shortly, because we're not going to get a bunch of money, but we're going to get a bunch of origami swans. When we hit that
100 subscribers, I'm going to be able to move out my shit into a smaller shit.
So subscribe. We have low levels, we have high levels. The
subscribe,
low levels,
I need 100.
The low levels, like, don't do a 5, it's bullshit, you get nothing.
I need 100. I need 100 high level subscribers.
It's
and
worth it.
I will call my boss on the podcast.
Yes.
And tell him I don't want to say it right now.
Okay,
because if he hears what I'm going to say, then I'm going to get fired.
So also, real quick,
it'll be a rape joke.
Let's sweeten the pot. Let's sweeten the pot. If you subscribe and you're like is it 25 or 15? What's our highest level? It doesn't fucking matter. If you subscribe to the highest level, we'll put your name in a raffle. We'll pull out your name. And if we pick out your name, you get to write something for Johnny to say to his boss.
Oh, there you go.
In his farewell.
Hey, guess what?
Out. Yeah.
I kill dogs. I can't work here anymore because I am pursuing my career of killing animals indiscriminately in the streets of Colorado Springs.
I know how to cure leukemia. I'm not going to tell you. It's my little secret.
I have the keys to the building.
Yeah.
I will be giving multiple copies out to random homeless people and telling them, if you find what building this unlocks, there's a prize for you inside.
He builds microchips for rockets.
I would just love to have a whole group of homeless people with keys to my building.
Like the apple dumpling game.
And then have one of them find out And then when we all clock out for the day, you come in every morning
Right.
for like a month, and there's like homeless people in the lobby.
Just drinking all the Folgers. So I think that's the way to go. So we need subscribers. Also, if you're not following us on YouTube, please do. You can turn off the notifications. But
We just need to get to 100.
And we're at, I don't know, 31 now?
Yeah, we're at 31. We need a couple mo.
Yeah. So
We need a
just
couple. If we can get to 100, we get the vanity URL, and then we
Right.
might we might do something big for that, right?
I mean, we've
Do a
been kicking
blowout
around
episode?
some pool party ideas.
Yeah, if we can get 100 subscribers, we'll do the pool party episode.
And I'm not going to tell you guys the details. It is going to be amazing.
Yes, the
It's-
pool party episode will be amazing.
Drones are going to be involved.
Right. But
That's not a joke.
here's the thing. If you think we're bullshitting, like, why should I subscribe? It's because we can do cool stuff. We get
Right.
cool stuff done.
Right. We just need the money for a little better technology than we have right now.
Right. And that's all.
These Hello Kitty headphones, I need a new pair.
And that's all. We're saying all this to lead into the clip you're about to watch. We've got an exclusive interview with a guest. We're not going to spoil it.
It was
What's
amazing.
probably going to be in the title, maybe. I don't know.
I think the episode is going to be just his name.
Maybe.
100%.
I say we put somebody else's name. I say we put that we have
The
an
Smash
interview.
Mouth episode.
There you go. We'll call it something totally misleading.
Hey, do you guys
then just-
remember
and then-
Chumbawamba?
And then that'll be the thing is like we had a misleading title, and that's why nobody saw our exclusive interview.
Right. So keep watching, subscribe, pay us some fucking money on Patreon. Johnny needs to quit his job.
And enjoy this exclusive interview. Check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special segment of the Hate Everything podcast. There's a lot of people around town that have been giving us a lot of shit. They've been blowing up our email.
They
They've
want
been
to
bothering us.
be a guest.
Yeah, they're bothering us at the open mics, and they want to be guests on the podcast. But I'm here to tell everybody who's been asking us, you're not good enough. All right, you're not. You don't have the gusto.
You don't have the chops.
Luke. Get out of my inbox, Luke. Brian.
John Brown, stop sending me messages on my Facebook timeline.
Because here's the thing. We reserved this spot for a very special person. Very special person. And so we're probably going to edit in an applause track here. Because
Absolutely.
we have to do some sort of...
fanfare.
We got to do something
A
to
ticker
make it
tape
special.
parade, maybe.
But ladies and gentlemen, Jamie Kennedy.
Wow.
Jamie Kennedy.
What
Thank
an
you,
intro.
sir.
It was a pleasure to be here.
Thank you,
Shots
sir.
fired. You shots fired at Luke and John Brown,
Yes.
whoever they are. But
They're in our inbox, man. We got to get them
Wow.
out of there. They have to understand.
Boom.
They need to rise. They need to rise to the cream of the crop if you want to be
that's right.
on our podcast.
On the Hate Everything podcast.
Stop
So
bothering
thank
me
you
at
so much
7-Eleven.
for being here with us.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you for having me. I
Thank you for
appreciate
coming
it.
out to Looney's Man Killer shows tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely
very much.
amazing.
So much fun.
Thank you.
One of the questions I want to ask you is because you're like, how long have you been in the game? And I'm not trying to like age you, so you
Say
are as
whatever
old
you
as-
want.
So you're as
Fine.
old as Tracy.
I'm a
looks.
chubby older lady.
Wow.
So you and
We
I are.
established that we're keep
Yeah.
creating a.
We like to
timeline.
use the word ingenue.
There you go.
There you go. Ingenue. That's-
Well, how long have you been? Because I remember I'm 30, but I remember when I was in like high school and stuff. Like you were a prominent name
Yes.
with me growing up.
Yes.
So like, how long have
Thank
you
you.
actually been in? Like, if you take like your first year to where you are now, like what's the year total?
In the game, 30 years. Meaning I got my SAG card 30 years ago.
Hell yeah.
Did like first on-set stuff like background and started doing open mics and all that stuff
Right.
30 years ago. Making a living for about 27.
Hell yeah.
That's insane. That's an insane turnaround.
That's absolutely.
Yeah, no, it is. But I mean, I was trying for about 5 very hard years.
Yeah.
And I had no life. And you don't have a life. I didn't really
You
have.
just dive all the way in.
Yeah, I had no friends, and the only friends I had were people that were on the same path as me.
Right.
That's what you do. And I had no money and everything. And I read different quotes and different books, and there's a lot of them. And Madonna says it takes. When people say the backup plan, that's the first thing I always tell people that is just the dumbest. It's insulting because Madonna says it would take 48 hours a day to become a global superstar, 7 days a week. A doctor doesn't have a backup plan to become a lawyer. So
Right.
it's like it's all or nothing. And so I was pounded it for a while, and then
Right.
slowly I started making inroads. It wasn't like an overnight thing, and then things started
But
happening.
you eventually became like the guy. Like you were like, I remember like you were the shit. You had the Jamie Kennedy experience, Malibu's Most Wanted,
Yes.
like in like The Mask 2. I've heard people say like, you know, it doesn't live up to the first one, but it's like in the same breath, the idea that you were like, they were like, this is who's gonna follow it. That's a crazy.
Yeah, you're following Jim
like,
Carrey.
It's like
That's
one of those
insane.
crazy things where it's like, when you are the guy, did you feel like the pressure? Was there like a crazy pressure with it? Or were you just like living in the moment, like, nah, I'm just
got
fucking going
picked.
with the flow? Like,
That's such a long story, and I'll tell you some of it. But I do a YouTube channel, and I talk about all the behind the scenes of it.
Yeah.
And you know, you come up and you're struggling, you got nothing, you're doing, you know, stand up, you're acting, and you're trying all this stuff, and I slowly started making inroads. You know, as I started getting guest spots, I started getting auditions for commercials. You know, and like there's all this stuff, and so when I was doing my own stuff, like Experiment, I was feeling good, and Malibu's, I was feeling good. The Mask, I felt good going in, but it's a much longer conversation. But
Right.
it was, I didn't have the control
Right.
that I had when I had with other things.
Right.
So that was a little scary. But you know,
it was just like it just in my brain, it's like, holy shit, like the idea of like, hey, we had this big thing, we're gonna do it again, and this is like, that's not like they're just picking some, like you.
No,
like,
it
like, you know,
was-
like
That's
you're the fucking
a huge honor. Like,
it was a massive honor. It was a
like
very,
you're the flag point. They're like, this is the fucking.
this is the guy.
I'm a part of.
That's a scary thing in my head. Like, was there ever a point where you're just like, man, this is like fucking insane how much people believe in me, or like how much like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is there ever any moment where you're like, I think this is bigger than I ever thought it was gonna be, or were you just like, oh, I was ready for this?
I was
Was it like game time for you? Like,
I was respectfully humbled, but also excited.
right.
And you know, because you work up and you work and you work,
Right.
but obviously you're following, you know, one of the biggest to ever do it, and it's impossible shoes to fill. But we were trying to do our own shoe,
Right.
And that's why I was like excited. I was a little trepidatious, but I was excited because I thought we were going to create our own shoe,
Right.
and that kind of didn't happen. And then people, you know, all this stuff. But with the thing is that you try. It was obviously a very big honor, but
Right.
and I'm trying to think of what I was about to say there. Another shit. But
It's all good.
No, I was trying to. I'm a part of like 3 universes. If you really look at it, anyway, it's. I always try to say this. People tell me this. It's a season. It's not a game.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of like your at bats, you know, if you strike out twice in one game, it's not a great average.
Right.
But if you go 162 games, it's a season. So you have to look at your career as a season. So like Scream is going more and
Right.
more now. No, I'm dead, but I'm a part of that verse.
Right.
That was in the 90s. And then the 2000s, The Mask didn't work out. People didn't like it, although it made more money than people realized.
No,
But it'll
it
come
was a
back.
big movie.
Yeah, it was. The Mask was huge. The Son of the Mask was not as big, but it still made some money.
Absolutely.
They'll put another person in it now. They're going to put a woman in it, I believe. And it'll make that universe.
It's me.
Yeah, it could be you.
they won't even need to put makeup on it.
Wow, that's aggressive. That's aggressive.
We've been fighting for like the last month on this podcast.
You have.
It's fine. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I
Getting
hate
some
him.
good digs, so this is my chance.
Did you understand when he was talking baseball, by the way?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I did not. You were
I'm a
saying
huge
bad,
baseball
bad.
fan, and he hates it. So I appreciate you bringing it up without me having to do a lead-in.
There it is.
I get it. Before we got up here, I was like, please do not lead it into baseball, Tracy.
Yeah.
She'll talk your ear off for like 45 minutes and be like, all of this is useless because the Orioles suck. That's the only thing I know from baseball with you, right? Is that the only?
But as you were saying,
I was just saying, like, I think all intellectual property is going to get hot and stay hot. And so The Mask will be another verse that I was a part of in the 2000s. And then in 2010s, I did a couple Tremors movies. So it's like, even though things may not pop at the moment, I'm a part of these different universes. And I think that's all stuff is going to be universes. Movies are going to be spin-offs or prequels or sequels. And so I'm
Right.
lucky to be part of it.
It's amazing. And what you have been a part of, they're huge.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
By the way, all of my cousins and my sister, all my family members that came out of the woodworks when they heard that you were going to be doing this, they're like, I fucking love Jamie Kennedy. Like they
thank
adore
you.
you.
That's so sweet of
yeah,
you.
they are
Thank
just
you.
like, I was like, no, I'm not sending you anything that's autographed.
So like being 30 years in the game,
Yes.
what is it like? What is it like to like still have that like crazy like love for like when you come to places like you bring out diehard like people fucking love you. You know what I'm saying? Like no one's like walking here like, oh, well, come see like the people who are here tonight. It's
Oh
like
my gosh.
I'm going to see fucking Jamie Kennedy. That's what everybody like walking through that door like we're here to see Jamie. Like is that like a crazy feeling to go, like to start from like the bare bones of it all?
Right,
to
when you're talking
have
about
this-
open mics and the grind and
you almost have a cult. You know, it's like you have this cult following where it's like people are just so enthralled and in love with you. Have you ever noticed that, or is this just one of those things where it's like, yeah, this is what I do?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely noticed it. I've definitely been fortunate. I mean, again, I've been doing this a long time, so it's like I've had machinations of it and slow grinds, and then big pops, and and then quietness, and then another baby pops, and then so I think now is a good time kind of to be me. Because I've put in a lot of work,
right.
and I like to do new stuff, but there's so much of my stuff that hasn't really been discovered in terms of like obviously Scream is known, and Romeo and Juliet, but like my show The Experiment is known by diehard people, but it's not as known as you think.
Which is
Malibu.
wild because to
Yeah.
me, that's when I think of you. That's what I think of.
Right, those are like the first.
That's
thing
my
that comes to mind.
foray into hardcore comedy of like making my comedy name, and
Right.
like Malibu's is really gone now past cult status. It's become like a meme. It's like a stamp on pop culture, and so yeah, I think it's a good time because I always tell people that I'm not a human anymore. And anybody that probably was rolled through here who has some name recognition, they're not. And it's a good thing. Meaning
You're almost like immortalized without like having to have like a statue or any sort of like.
Yeah.
It's gonna outlive.
Right.
It will
know?
outlive
It's
me.
the
And
legend.
I'm what I call Bounce fabric softener. I'm on the shelf. I get the job done. You're like, oh shit, Bounce. Oh, yeah, what about Bounce? Or bring Bounce back. It goes up, it goes down.
Right.
And that's how, or like Hardee's. It's like a good burger. Sometimes you think about it, sometimes you don't. And it's like that's what we are. And now why I say it's good because I can kind of really reap the benefits, meaning like there's gifts. I've been a part of things. There's memes. There's disc distribution. There's streaming. There's reruns. There's VH1. There's spin-offs. So, and my name is thrown in there with all this stuff.
Right.
Good, bad, or indifferent. And it's
It'll
just
not- it's like
everyone
it's
is
always
creating.
gonna
When
be
you
a
see
part
a
of it.
Ford Maverick, everyone is singing the song, right? I mean, that's just a given. You're
That's-
driving the highway, you're singing the song, and that's
But-
wild.
Yeah, it is.
That's
so,
awesome.
So
That's
now,
completely fucking awesome.
Oh, thank you. I'm very fortunate, and I appreciate that. But with all the distribution angles and all the social media now, it is kind of bonkers. And like today, I sold hoodies. Like I'm taking all like the art from different stuff I've been in. And some girl from Japan bought a hoodie, and she was like, "What color? Pink or white?" And it was like, boom! I saw it be shipped to Tokyo, which was crazy.
Right.
So I think the
Right.
international walls are beyond opening up. Like people are going to stream your shit, and there could be new fans. And conventions are these big things now that we go to and sign stuff. So
Are you doing conventions now? I know with COVID, obviously things probably.
I just did my first one 2 weeks ago.
Oh wow, where was it at?
And it was in Arizona, and I was like,
shit.
it was a little intense because people there are like, they're out there. They're coming out.
Like, it's on. We're out. We
But-
don't care.
Yeah, and I did Vegas before that just as a comedy show, and they're out there.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
So slowly.
Well, they got their vaccinations at the strip club, so
Right.
they're
totally,
solid.
right?
They're solid.
Those are
So-
solid
Those
vaccinations.
are definitely very solid. They're on stable footing right there.
Is that where they vax?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
you
have
didn't
them in
read
the
that
strip
story?
club.
They were doing vaccinations at strip clubs.
Vegas, baby.
Right.
I got my white horse. No, I got my second white horse. No, I got my third crazy horse. You just cough. What fucking variant is that?
No, that's a
Christ.
whole
It's
pack
Echo.
of cigarettes.
It's beyond
that's a whole
Delta.
pack of cigarettes. That's what that is.
We're vaccinated. We're fully vaccinated.
vaccinated.
We're
Okay.
pro
So you're
vax.
shedding. You're shedding.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a carton of Marlboro Reds.
See, that's the thing. It's like, so yeah, I think it's opening up, but yeah, again, I'm lucky to be part of it. And you know what's beautiful about where we're at right now? You know, I don't know you. I'm just meeting you. I don't know you. I'm just meeting you. I was telling Kyle this, the communities.
Yeah.
Like when I would go to a small town before, let's just say 15 years ago, be local comics just trying to get on.
Right.
Those guys had to keep in touch with me through my number, come to LA, or if I was near them, they go, dude, can I do a guestie or can I open up for you? I'll sell your merch or whatever. That was it.
Right.
Now, because of social media, not only can they just hit me up and go, yo, I see you're in town or blah, blah, blah. You can create your own shows, put them up, a community forms. Hey, come to this show, this podcast. You don't have to be on the all LA podcast. You can just start local podcast scene here. And next thing you know, I've been to 6 different cities since we opened up again.
Right.
And the communities are thriving. So,
that's one of the...
and it's like your guys' locals.
Yep.
And then there's people that you know. So I feel very connected within the community because LA is like that. From open micers to ALS comedians, we all do each other's podcasts,
Right.
and it's beautiful.
That was one of the beautiful things that came out of COVID. I try and tell people is like it nuked comedy back to the dark ages.
Seriously, we went back to ground zero. We're all on the same level playing field.
Nuked it back. There was a lot of people like in our scene and like in the bigger scenes where it's like they were like the part-time comics and just kind of taking up space. And then this happened and they all kind of disappeared. But the people who really wanted to do it.
I heard this in a couple cities now.
Yeah.
So
so
you're saying what they call hobbyists.
Yeah,
right.
the hobbyists. So like they would have an open mic here at the club and they would have 40 people on the list. But then you go out to an
here?
Doing 2 minutes.
Here?
But then you would go out to a bar that has an open mic, and there would only be the same 7 people at all the bar open mics. So it's all the people that think, oh, I'm just going to do it at the club. That's the place to do it. And it's like one of those things where once COVID happened, they disappeared. They were gone. And the people who were out doing this, like hardcore, when the opportunities started coming back, those were the first people on deck.
See, it's so fucked up and so disrespectful to the art form.
Yeah.
Like, there is no cop of comedy. Comedy is beautiful, and everyone should try it, or if they feel they should.
Right, it's an art form. If you have it in you, let it out.
But there is no barrier to entry, and there are... I mean, it doesn't bother me, but I guess it does because I do hear this a lot of people that don't. It's disrespectful to think you got a like on a tweet once,
right?
And think like you're gonna be the next, Shecky Green. And it's like it's okay, you can try it, but there are a lot of people that get attention, and they're trying to use comedy as the way to keep the attention, as opposed to actually like
delving into the art,
as opposed to like I need this to get through my day. I need to write this joke, or else I'm fucking level 4 manic depressed, and we're all pieces of shit. Comics, that's what keeps us sane, I think, and that is why I think the community is so strong, is because we have that connection of we're all kind of horrible humans, and we're just trying to fix ourselves.
Come on, don't say that.
Not horrible.
That'll come back. That will not age well. Jesus Christ.
20 years from now, I am a horrible human.
20 months from now. So, fuck.
But it's a thread that connects
Say
us.
broken.
Broken. Okay, thank you. Broken is such a better term. Yeah, we're the island of misfit toys.
Because some comics are having some issues.
Right.
I mean, that's the things, like the people who really needed it when COVID hit, they found a way to keep doing it. And the people who were like, I can let it go, they let it go and they got the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
Like, I remember there was one kid who came up here and his whole thing was he was like the anti-comedy guy. So he went up at the open mic and for his whole set, he didn't say anything. And that was the big joke. Right? And it was funny. It was funny for a little bit, but at the same
12
time... 12
seconds. It was hilarious for 12 seconds.
It was hilarious for 12 seconds, but he'd like come back like multiple times and...
For
like,
2 minutes?
Multiple times.
And just stand on stage?
Yeah. And
commitment.
It's like, hey, man. And then he would like come up like, hey, what'd you think of my set? Like, bro, really? Like,
what did you think of my set?
Looking for notes.
I would...
He didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Would you gulp more air?
Yeah.
Right.
Could you have blinked more?
Oh my God, it's hilarious.
Well,
yeah, but it's like, whatever. It's a good time.
I respect it, but there is a point where it's like, hey, you're kind of wasting the time.
You know what?
Somebody else could have had, 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Right.
But
you can split it
there's
up.
so many different lanes now. So
it's
you could just start doing jokes on Twitter. You can start doing jokes on YouTube. Start doing Instagram, whatever. And so, like I said, everybody has a chance. But I just think that it's always calm. It's hard because comedy is subjective.
Right.
Like, whether you like a player or not, you cannot argue if he drops 30 a night. You know,
Right.
acting is more subjective, but you can't
the
argue if
room's
somebody
rocking-
can hit the notes with the violin.
Right.
If the
No.
room's rocking, the room's rocking.
It is. It's about trusting the audience.
But there are some people, if the room's rocking, some people say, well, he's a hack or she's a hack. Or if they're bombing, they go, he's so unique or she's so unique. So it's what I'm saying is the rules are hard. You know what I mean?
Right.
In math, if 2 and 2 is 5, you fail the test.
Right.
Comedy is
2 and 2 can be 5 sometimes.
yes.
Right.
Yes.
How drunk is the room?
Yes, exactly.
You know?
Totally. Was it
That
a
is the
bring?
truth.
It is
Was
the
it-
truth.
I have so much more fun when the crowds are just wasted.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah,
when I'm in
like-
the pocket. That's
right.
when I'm in the pocket. I'm like shots. We're taking shots first, guys.
And then you got to go and play like an afternoon show and see how
Exactly.
it works. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
Where nobody's
in
drinking.
Salida.
Okay.
Where they all have meetings
Right.
after your show.
Yes.
The company Christmas party.
It's funny.
So I got one more question for you.
Yeah.
You've been in the game 30 years.
Yeah.
You've been the guy. What is the one like question or thing you absolutely can't stand people asking you anymore? Is there like one thing that you're like, if I get this question one more time, I'm gonna lose it? Do you have one of those?
Yeah, I actually was going to do a video about this, but I can give you the preview of it.
Okay, yes. You saw it here first.
But you got to let me explain the whole thing. So it's so simple. So I won't name a name specifically, but it's reporters. I think that the name of the video is going to be what is the question, Green?
Production.
When something is okay. Questions that reporters ask that are absolutely futile.
Okay.
So, first of all, there's questions out there that you can just Google that I've answered for decades.
right.
So that's already annoying, but I even give that a pass because some people like I want my own soundbite, which I get.
Mm.
And again, we're starting at the baseline of we're very happy and fortunate to do this. I'm lucky to do it, but I'm saying now that we're in it, and it's like you're a black belt in jujitsu, but you're tired of getting your nose broken. Okay, you've reached a certain level. You know what I'm saying? So this is the question. There's a lot of them, but this is one. Tell me what was it like to work with so and so?
Oh.
Yeah.
Can
No,
we make
but-
it any less about you?
No.
No, I'm kidding.
Do you know what?
I'm kidding.
Do you know why that question is absolutely futile?
No. Why is it?
Because I would say 50% of the people you work with, there's whether it's probably not with me, but there's always going to be drama, right? There's always
they
drama on the set. Do you think I am going to spill any type
want me to
of
be the
fucking
snitch?
tea?
Right.
Right.
And fucking talk about somebody who's possibly a bigger star than me or a smaller star than me that could become a bigger star
Right.
or a director or producer. I don't say shit. I mean, unless it was like super toxic, but like if
Right.
it was just like a fucking creative difference, I would never say that shit because it's like that's the one thing that sucks about Hollywood. I'm not saying getting rid of bad toxicity culture, which is obviously happening. I'm talking
Right.
about like creative differences and people look for the tea. It's like
Yeah, they want
it's
it
a
to
small business. It's a small business, whether it's comedy, poetry. So it's like I'm not gonna sit there and fucking gossip.
Right,
And it's
right.
like, let me gossip about a fucking somebody huge.
something small. So like in 10
Yes.
years when they blow up, they can be like, you know what he said about me?
Yeah,
10
that piece of
years
shit.
ago?"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
oh, that
for
sort of
noth-
bullshit.
yeah.
No, it's not more like that piece of shit. It's more like they could be like, fuck, don't let that guy work.
Right.
You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean? Like, so that's just a weird thing, and it's just like so much people don't understand it.
You're
But
just digging for that dirt. And you're
Well,
like, I have
yeah.
no dirt to give you.
I try to be positive. But obviously, if it's something that people talk about, there are things that I've worked on, and there's been public spats. I could comment on it,
right.
but obviously, if there's something terrible, then you comment on it. But you know what I mean?
Right,
It's like
right,
the tea. I feel like we live in a culture now where the tea is now. It's not about the work. It's like the tea that's being spilled.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
really
it's
what.
about the sensational soundbite. That's
Yeah.
all that anybody wants.
And you can
Ever.
even see it in just like print. Like there's certain articles that'll catch my eye. I'll click on them and it'll be like a paragraph long, and it's just like this really contrived, very one-sided thing. And I'm like, this is an article now? Like
Right.
this is like you just picked one side and just tried to drill it home to be some weird like toxic thing.
Oh yeah, it's definitely things that are so polarized
Yeah.
now that there's sides.
Yeah,
And, and it's not going to be any really non-biased. Maybe NPR? No.
Right.
Maybe Frontline.
It's hard to find.
Do you know Frontline? It's a good news organization. They're kind of in the middle. They're on YouTube. Frontline. I think they're pretty unbiased. But it's hard because everything is kind of opinion pieces.
Right.
As opposed to like
who? No
Cat
one's doing.
It's never
like-
just news.
Yeah,
No one just wants to report what's going on. They
Right,
want
it's
to put
never
a
facts.
spin and make it like
100%.
this is the right way to think about it. It's like, I think it's a little more complicated.
Right,
than
just
that.
give me the facts and I'll think about it myself. But that's exhausting.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll have a
totally.
beer.
Yeah.
Can I get a beer instead?
Can I get another Coors Banquet? Just tell me what to think.
Yeah.
Well, thank
Gosh.
you, Jamie, for coming.
Hey,
Thank you
guys.
so much. And
Oh,
please
this is
check out
amazing.
his YouTube channel. Can you tell us what
Yeah.
that's called?
My YouTube channel is Jamie Kennedy. I do a lot of behind the scenes. I almost think I'm slurring. I'm so tired. I'm not drunk or on crack.
No, he just crushed 2 shows. He
thank
just
you.
did
You're
an
so
hour and a
sweet.
half.
You're
So
so sweet. I do that. I have a podcast called Hate to Break It to You. We're 41 episodes deep. I have my Instagram, the Jamie Kennedy, but I'm really starting to do post clips and just trying to get out there. I'm doing great clubs like this, Looney's in Colorado
yeah.
Springs. Like I've never played this place. It's fucking magical. Like if I could tape an album here, I think it would crush because the
Not
room
before
is-
I do.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. The crowd is vivacious.
Yes.
And that late show is the most behaved late show.
wasn't that wild?
They were like, not one person called me a piece of shit. No one burped.
Right.
One girl at the end was like this. They got the picture signed, and this happens. This will be a good problem. I think you'll like it. But they sell the VIPs got to sign autographs, so I get that, and then I sell my own merch. And so my merch woman was like, "Well, that's a different merch. This merch." And the other girl goes, "Okay, fine, I'll buy that merch." And then we took a picture, and the other girl goes, "Well, I don't even want a fucking picture with him." I didn't want the fucking picture anyway.
Jesus, Miranda, calm down.
And I was like, thank you. Can you say that just a teeny bit out of the earshot? My hurts a teeny.
I'm standing right here.
Yeah.
That's another thing you're gonna learn as a comic, right? Comedians. You do an hour. You have a great set, you think, and then you're done. Your job is done. You actually went over, right? You only have to do 45, so you did 15 minutes extra, so it's like a DVD extra. Now you can go. You can walk. Go behind that abandoned Kmart, hang out, have a nacho, wait till your next show. But I stay and take pictures. I like to build my social
Which
media.
is amazing.
You don't have to. Oh, thank you. I don't have to do that, but I do it. But sometimes I sell merch. I have a merch person. They're like, what? I had to buy something. Like, yes, the comedy was one part of the show.
Right.
I didn't have to stay. The shirt is another part of the show. They're not
Are
made
you
out
in
of
or
thin
are you
air.
in?
So as a comedian, since you guys are coming up now, I would tell you, if you do that, just try to make that clear because they're going to think your show, your merch, your picture, your advice, your answering their questions in the DM is all part of your show. And I'm just saying, guys, there's a little bit more to it. So, and I appreciate you, but you'll learn that if you don't have it already. Sounds like people are blowing you up right now to get on this thing.
Right.
Luke.
Leave us alone.
Boy, look at me. I turned into I hate everything too.
Thank
Hell
you for
yes.
coming on, Jamie. This has been absolutely
Thank you
amazing.
so much.
Appreciate you.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Colorado Springs.
So, guys, this has been the Hate Everything podcast.
Huh? How about that?
How was that? Did you guys like that?
How about that?
I liked it.
You fucks.
I loved it.
What other podcast here is getting Jamie Kennedy on it? I
No.
know one that's not. I know one that's not. And that is a direct attack, sir. Because I heard what got said.
So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And here's the thing.
No! No! We asked, damn it. You didn't, we did. So don't be throwing all this, don't be throwing no hissy fit at me. And
Johnny,
I love you. I love you, bro.
Johnny doesn't do well with hissy.
Let me tell you, I love you, bro. You're one of my favorite people.
That's a lie.
I'm not going to throw names out because I don't want to start no shit. But if you watch it, because I'm pretty sure I ain't going to watch it. I'm pretty sure I ain't going to watch it.
Jesus Christ.
I love you, bro. But we asked, damn it.
So
I went out on a limb. No, I know you're trying to close it out.
I know
you're trying to close it out. I'm not trying to start a war.
Okay.
I'm just trying to explain myself because I don't want any ill will. I don't want to, what is he trying? I'm not trying to do anything. I just fucking asked.
We asked a question. We got an answer, and it was a beautiful answer. And it ended with us eating jumbo soft pretzels with Jamie Kennedy.
Yes.
So thank you guys for tuning in. I'm waiting. I'm kind of giving you a pause to see if you wanted to bring anything else up. I know something's stewing in your heart and your soul. Did you let that
I love
out?
you.
Okay.
I love you.
Johnny loves you. We love you. I guess you're one of his favorite people.
Yes.
So thank you guys for tuning in. This has been the Hate Everything podcast.
No, I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear shit. Look at what we set up. Where was it gonna lead to? We gotta go big. We're trying to do the damn thing.
Johnny's trying to quit his job.
Did you not see the bump? You watched the whole episode. That's why we put it in the back end. That's why we put it in the back end, because then you're gonna watch the whole thing. You're gonna skip through, but you're gonna see the lead up. You're gonna see the intro. I want to quit my job, bro. You're living the life I want, bro. I want to be you, big dog. I'm tired of clocking in. I gotta wear a name tag and shit. Come on, bro. Let me shoot my shot. I'm shooting for the stars.
After this, I'm gonna show Johnny on the waterfront, and this is gonna all make sense. So thank you.
I don't even know what that means.
Don't. As soon
It's
as
a
you
very weird reference.
No, everyone knows it, and as soon as they see you see it, you're gonna be like, oh fuck. So thank you guys so much for tuning in.
I want to be you.
That literally is the joke. I'm Tracy Kellett.
I'm Johnny Bratsfield. Enjoy
night.
the rest of your night.